Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about essay structure. Okay, so the essay has three main parts. We're looking at the introduction paragraph, the body paragraphs, and then the conclusion paragraph. So the introduction paragraph. Typically, you guys start off with the hook to grab the reader's attention, right? Now, I have a personal problem with the hook, and I'll just explain to you why. What we are often told is if we do not have a good hook, then I'm not going to read the rest of your essay, right? That's what our teachers tell us all of the time. You know, if you have a bad hook, I'm not going to read your essay because I'm not interested. Okay. First of all, it's my job to read your essay. So whether you have a good hook or a shitty hook, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to read your entire essay. Does that make sense? So the problem that I have with the hook is that, it's just we get so ramped up on needing such a good hook in order to keep the reader's attention. So let's just look at it this way. I am your professor. I am the reader. You got my attention, and you always will. Okay? So whether you have a good hook or you don't, honestly, I could give two shits about that. What I would really like you guys to focus on instead is building a strong introduction to your topic, to the episode or the novel at hand, if that makes sense. It really doesn't matter to me if you're going to, to put an anecdote or ask questions or drop a shocking statistic. If you'd like to do all of those things, you are more than welcome to. I am just here to tell you today that you do not need a hook from my class ever. Other instructors might ask you for a hook, and there are instructors out there. I have a very close friend. She loves the hook. It's like one of her favorite things to read, and I think that's amazing, right? So we each have our own individual preferences. Again, my only thing against the hook is that it really does inspire writer's block more than anything, because you think you have to start writing your introduction as soon as you start writing your essay. And that's just simply not the case. I'm going to let you know now, throughout most of my career, actually in school, I never wrote the introduction paragraph first. Every time I did, I would shut down, I would freak out, and I would never be able to continue on with my essay. So the way I always approached it was writing the introduction actually at the very end. I would have an 8 to 10 page research paper. I would have my thesis, body paragraphs. I would write my conclusion, and then I would go and introduce everything. Now that that is quite literally backwards, right? So why would I do that? But let me ask you this. How are you going to introduce something that you haven't even written yet? It's a pretty difficult thing to do. So when we start right away with the introduction and the expectation of a hook and it's gotta be good, our brain just shuts down, and I hate that. So this is my way of trying to help you get over writer's block. Again, if you do want to include the hook, by all means go for it. And if you would like to talk like, hook strategies or something, just let me know. We can definitely have a discussion. But other than that, I would say forget the hook. You do not need it in this class at all. All right. I would much rather you start off with an introduction of your topic, like mental health or, immigration or whatever it is that we're discussing at the time. So the part in the middle where you're like, oh, I'm talking about this book or I'm going to talk about this episode that we watched, that is technically called the bridge and of the introduction. And what that is we introduce the topic and bring the reader into the conversation. So am I totally okay with you guys not having a hook and starting straight with the bridge? Absolutely. I actually recommend that you do that. That way no bullshit, just get straight to the point. Definitely you're going to want to introduce your source that you're writing about fully. So the title and include the author and or director's first and last names. You're going to want to set up the themes and topics that you'll be discussing, right? Whether it's trauma or bipolar disorder or the US-Mexico border, whatever it is. And then you're going to move on to your thesis statement. So your thesis statement should be one sentence at the end of the introduction paragraph. I mean this seriously. So what I will be doing is when I am grading your essays, I will be looking at the thesis statement at the end, and that is going to be its own little section. When I'm grading you, I grade based off of this rubric that is strong, adequate, weak, or missing. And in those, the thesis is the first thing I'm grading you on, okay? That's actually the first thing I look at when I do grade your essays. I look at your thesis and your topic sentences to ensure that we have strong arguments right from the get-go. So If you have a thesis statement, but then you wanted to add some more just to kind of like, you know, make your paragraph sound a little bit more holistic or something, but your thesis is somewhere in the middle, you're going to get docked. So be absolutely certain that your thesis statement is the last sentence in your introduction paragraph. Okay, so for the thesis statement, we are going to be wanting to include the topic, like what is the actual topic that you're discussing? What is the point or purpose of that topic and the significance behind it? The significance is probably one of the most important things because it's telling me why I should give a shit at all, right? You're giving me the big importance behind this. So we can work on developing that because that's one of the harder things to get in the thesis statement. So your body paragraphs. Body paragraph structure, I am just giving you a suggested structure here. For our first essay, I would really appreciate if you stuck to this structure because I want to be able to teach you guys the rules and then you can go ahead and break them later. So here we've got steps 1 through 8 and each body paragraph that I am going to ask you to write will be following this structure. So we have the topic sentence. Topic sentence is basically going to be derived from your thesis statement. It's going to be a mini part that you're going to be exploring further. So your topic sentence must be a fact, right? We need to have like some substantial thing from the text or from the episode or movie, whatever it is. And then it's going to include your opinion. What about this specific topic? What does it matter? Why is it significant? Why should we care at all? Right? And that opinion is going to be the biggest part. If the topic sentence is just a fact about, about the source that we're talking about, we're going to have a really big issue. I will mark it as fact does not equal topic sentence when I'm grading you each time. So we want to be sure that we have a clear opinion within that topic sentence. Number 2 is context. This simply sets up the quote or the piece of evidence that you're going to be providing. So it's going to tell us where we are in the situation. If we're looking at, when so-and-so was in the kitchen or when she was stomping on a bunch of cockroaches or, the second Dr. Frankenstein, made his creature come to life. That is contextualizing the situation. That's putting me exactly where in the book or movie or whatever it is we're going to be working on. So that's just kind of setting it up before the evidence where you say, he says, comma. Your evidence is going to be literal direct quotations from the source or paraphrases. Paraphrase is a fancy way of just saying a summary, right? So you can either directly quote something or you can just summarize what happened. Either way, you're going to need to include an in-text citation. And this is MLA format. This is literally just acknowledging the page number on from the novel or whatever are reading, or it's going to be acknowledging the movie or episode. Coming up after evidence is analysis, number 4. Analysis is super important. This is actually should be the bulk of your essay. It is your opinion and explanation of the quote. It connects to the topic sentence. It proves that topic sentence. As a rule of thumb, your analysis should be twice the length of evidence. So what do I mean by that? If your evidence, let's just say you pull a direct quote from our source and you type it out in MLA format, it's about, let's just say 2 lines long on your document, your analysis should be a minimum of 4 lines for that one piece of evidence. I know it might seem excessive, but again, the main thing that you're being graded on is your analysis, which is ultimately proving your topic sentence, which is catering to your thesis statement. Okay, so that's just kind of the structure. Context, evidence, analysis. Context, evidence, analysis. So that's going to be steps 2 through 7. Then finally, you're going to link back to your main idea and topic sentence. Now, how do we do this? So basically, you're going to be arguing a specific opinion in your topic sentence, and your evidence is just proving, hey, this is where in the book or in the film that we see my opinion, right? Or my topic of debate for that time. So after you've given all of your evidence and your analysis, to make us understand why that evidence is important, you want to make sure that we stayed on topic and link it back to your topic sentence. So when we link back to the main idea, we just want to ensure that we proved our topic sentence. Our topic sentence is going to be basically proposing something, some sort of an opinion on a very specific topic. Your evidence is simply proving, hey, this is where I find it and here's why. This is my explanation behind it. So for number 8, your link back to your main idea is just going to be a kind of like a therefore statement if you want to. It can be, therefore, I proved my point because, right? Just to make sure we're staying on topic. This is going to help those of you who, start talking about one thing and then you end up way over here and have no idea how you got there. Okay, and finally for the conclusion paragraph, this is going to be a place for you to emphasize the purpose and importance of your essay. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring us back to the essay structure. Here is what our typical essay structure should look like. Now, it's an hourglass, very specifically. We have the introduction, which we're starting off with more of a broad statement. And as it closes in, it's getting more and more specific to your source, to your argument, to your research, whatever it may be. The body paragraphs, very specifically, are the most focused and narrow part because this is going to be proving your thesis statement only. That is the entire purpose of your body paragraphs. And your conclusion, it's the inverse of the introduction because we start off very, very specific and then we broaden out to larger societal implications, conclusions, questions, etc. So basically, if we divide the essay by our 3 sections, the introduction, body, conclusion, what we're looking at is the introduction is basically saying, this is what I'm going to talk about. Body paragraphs are, hey, this is me here talking about it. And then the conclusion is going to say, basically, this is what I talked about and why I talked about it. The why being the most significant part. So in your conclusion, we definitely emphasize the purpose and the importance of your essay. So please do not copy and paste or reiterate your thesis and topic sentence or just, change a couple words here and there. I've read way too many conclusion paragraphs where students have literally copied and pasted their thesis and topic sentences in order. So a 3-page essay or even a 10-page essay, quite honestly, isn't long enough for me to forget what you just wrote. I'm going to acknowledge the fact that you copied and pasted. And if you want to reiterate the main points, I encourage you to. You can say, ultimately my reflection on X, Y, and Z is significant because. That's totally fine, right? Just please don't copy and paste them. I mean, I have a bad memory, but it's not that bad. And then you can end on some final words on why the essay, your topic, was important or interesting. So let me pose this to you. Other than the fact that you are in Christine Garavito's English class, who gives a shit about this essay? You give a shit because it's your grade. I give a shit because I'm your teacher, right? Maybe your mommy gives a shit. That would be nice. But other than that, nobody really cares about what you're writing, right? So your conclusion is genuinely a space for you to make me give a shit. Make the world give a shit. What was the purpose? What was the point? Where can we go from here? Really have a more meaningful meditation on why you wrote what you wrote. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions on any part of this essay structure template thingy that I'm giving you guys, let me know and I will be happy to clarify some things. Okay, thank you guys.